going on, Port fans? Welcome back to another review. This week, it's Port Adelaide versus Brisbane for round 6. Another win on the board for Port Adelaide. What an excellent performance against the Lions. A thrashing it was, an 83-point win. It was a good effort up there in Brisbane. It was considered a danger game for us, especially considering how our form has been over the last couple of years. But we've shown, especially at the start of this season, that we are definitely a much improved side compared to the last couple of years, as well as beating the teams that we've had trouble over the last couple of years as well. Obviously, we've lost to Brisbane in 2015. We obviously bet them last year a couple of times. Carlton, we haven't beaten the last couple of years either, but we smashed them only a couple of weeks ago. Fremantle as well has been one of our danger games, but we obviously smashed them as well. So we are getting rid of the teams that were dangerous over the last couple of years and beating them convincingly, which is a positive sign, especially considering how we want to move forward and going towards the end of the year as well. We need to get these wins on the board. And I've said it from day one this year, we have to beat the teams we should beat. You do that, you'll play finals. It's as simple as that. So, some of the key points from last week. There wasn't a lot in the game. It was quite boring. If you're a neutral fan, it was boring going to watch. Obviously, Port fan, who loved every second of it. Just from the start, getting that first goal on the board, and it was one of those quarters similar to the great quarters we've had over the last couple of years, like the elimination final a couple of years ago against Hawthorn, the one against Carlton only last week, I think it was, in the third quarter as well, which was outstanding to see. And it was good to see as well our players stand up. Not our big players. Players like Sam Gray, 20-odd possessions and a goal. Carl Amon, who I said at the beginning of the year is one to watch. And I'm really liking what he's doing so far. One of the most improved players, I think, in our squad at the moment. He's just showing what he's capable of, and over the last couple of weeks, even though we've played the lesser of good sides, he's shown, as an outside midfielder, that he's capable. He hasn't obviously got as much damaging possessions as he has, but he still picks them up, and he's still that linking player we have coming out of the middle or coming across half-back and pushing forward on our press and stuff like that. So that was good to see from both of those players. Players like Aaron Young, Darcy Byrne-Jones were a bit quiet, but you can't have everyone playing an absolute blinder, and you might see one of those come out if Boak's fit next week. I wouldn't drop Darcy Byrne-Jones because he's one of the best, one of our better lockdown defenders we have. So Aaron Young possibly the one to come out for me if there's going to be a change for Boak. Other than that, can't really see another change. Youngie's been good, I think. Not at his 2016 best, but he's obviously been up and about, so he possibly comes out for Boak. Cracker and Eddie, maybe as well, to come in, but who knows about that. Moving on to another key point, Sam Powell-Pepper, he's back. What a game he played, 25 possessions, 2 goals, and he reassured everyone that he is the #1 best first-year player at this stage of the year. So it was great to see from him, getting in the packs, getting those contested possessions, and kicking a couple of goals too. His work rate around the ground was sensational as well. So good on you, Sam Powell-Pepper. You were a gem. Players like Robbie Gray and Ollie Wines were quiet in terms of possessions. They didn't have the impact that we thought they were going to have. Obviously, Robbie kicked his 4 goals for, and once again, is proving to be a menace down forward line for us, which was very exciting to see. Ollie, captaining the side, did what he had to do, but everyone else stand up around him. Like the players like Chad Wingard, Brad Ebert once again. I tell you what, he's having his best year at Port Adelaide at this stage. Better than 2013, better than 14 as well. He's just getting those possessions, those contested possessions, and he's really proving to be one of our most elite midfielders. And it's really giving players like Boak, when he comes back in, Wingard and Ollie and all that, the likes, don't have to stand up because they can always rely on Brad to do such a good job as well. But yeah, a few key points. There was nothing really major in the game to see. It was just a good start and great to get the job done against Brisbane. And an 83-point thumping always helps the percentage too, so good on you, boys. Moving on to the things I learnt from round 6. There's a few things I took out of the game, even though it wasn't really a game that was lived up to any hype at all. But the number one thing I learnt is when Charlie Dixon is on, Port Adelaide is on. The bloke from the first quarter imposed himself. He was just sensational down forward. And that pickup, one-handed pickup, coup de feeties like it was, just grabbed it like it was a shopping bag. He just picked it up and walked off. Brisbane Lion players were like, how does a big bloke do that? And I reckon all of you guys, all the Port fans were like, sensational. And he hit the target as well, which was even better. So Charlie's in, he played his best game for Port Adelaide, and it was good to see him getting a few possessions and a few goals as well. So hopefully he keeps going next week. Brad Ebert got a haircut. That's the other thing I learned. I don't bet you anyone noticed that. No one would have noticed that until after the game. People would have been like, they would have seen a photo like, he got rid of the man bun. Good on him, I say, because honestly, the man bun is very questionable, and it's something that I couldn't really do. But that's just my personal taste, anyway. You know, the man bun, not acceptable, I say. Cut it off. It's disgusting. Too much maintenance, either. But anyway, the other thing I learned is across the competition, across the weekend, Port Adelaide are under the radar. We are not getting, and deservedly so, we shouldn't get noticed for our wins. But one person picked up on us, and that was Danny Frawley. He said we were a genuine contender. Now, it's debatable. We have demolished the teams we've played when we've won. We couldn't quite get the job done against GWS, and we should have beaten the Crows. Personally, I think we should have beaten them. We were right in that game, but just a couple of decisions cost us. But that's not a problem. We're flying under the radar. Big game this week against the West Coast Eagles. We beat them at home. That's a top 8 team that we've beaten. And if you beat them, you move on to China, you go into the bye, you're 6-2. 6-2. You're halfway win-wise to almost cementing a spot playing finals. It's big for a group like ours, and we have to do it. We have to win this week and keep flying under that radar, because when we are the underdogs, we're on point. And that moves on to my next thing I learnt is we have to win this week. That is a big key point. We have to win. It's a no-brainer. We're at home, 40,000+ people. You have to beat the West Coast Eagles. Shut down McGovern, Kennedy, and their midfield, and just demolish them. We win by 6 or 7 goals. We will prove to ourselves, to the competition, and to us, the fans, we're ready to go, and we're a genuine contender for 2017. I hope to God that we do it. Unfortunately, I won't be going either, which is another thing I learnt. I've got a birthday to attend to, but I'll be watching keenly during the day, so go boys. Hope you can do it. Right, let's move on to the votes from round 6 against the Lions. It's a tough one to choose the votes. I mean, wasn't really any real standouts in the game, but number one vote, Sam Powell-Pepper. Brought his game back this week after a couple of quiet weeks. Was being questioned. Even people were thinking rest him, but he stood up and he played that role Travis Boak does, and he was absolutely fantastic. 25 possessions, 2 goals. It's a day out for him, and probably one of his better games for this year so far in his very short AFL career. 2 votes goes to the magician, Chad Wingard. Wasn't a magician in front of goal. Was just very precise in the midfield. 31 possessions. Did he kick a goal? I can't remember if he kicked a goal or not. But 31 possessions, and he was that link-up target that we had, was just sensational. He linked up the play. He was more that outside runner like Pollock, who was just running amok all day as well. But he was out and about, and he got a few possessions and stood out in a midfield that was evenly spread across the day. 31 possessions for him. So Chad Wingard gets the 2 votes. 3 votes, well, goes to Big Charlie. The Big Charlie Dixon. Started the game fantastically well. 20 possessions, I think it was. 12 marks, 4 goals, 3. Charlie Dixon gets my 3 votes. The bloke was sensational and arguably his best game for Port Adelaide in his second year, which was good on for Charlie. He deserves it after some of the criticism he's been getting. But it's not just his goal kicking, it's his groundwork. He creates the contest. He's just prolific up forward. And when he's not kicking the goals, it's always the Youngs, the Impies, the Wingards. The Robbie Grays now kicking the goals as well. Robbie unfortunately missed out on the votes, but he wasn't as impactful in the game. He kicked his 4 goals and did what he had to do. So he played a Robbie Gray game, essentially. But yeah, Charlie Dixon gets the 3 votes and hopefully continues on for the rest of the year because he was absolutely fantastic. Right, that's it. Another review done and dusted. I'm going to spend my week trying to figure out another idea for a video because I have no clue what to do this week. Obviously wasn't in Brisbane, don't have a vlog to put up, so we'll find something to do. I don't know what. It'll probably come out Wednesday or Thursday, but yeah. Moving on to next week against the West Coast Eagles. It's the biggest game so far for the year for us, I think. The showdown, yeah, obviously, but that was early in the season and we had no idea where we were really at, so this one's a big one. It's a must-win, I think, and I think we should get the job done at home, but my prediction's always wrong. Just have a look at my tipping record. I got 5 out of 9 last week. 5. The only one I was actually got right was Port Adelaide. And it was comfortable. Everything else was on edge. And fantasy. No, I'm not even going into that. I don't want to bother. AFL Fantasy's too much for me. We're not going to put that up. I might do a rant on that. But that'll be it for another day. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Enjoy your week. And hopefully Port Adelaide get a good win against West Coast on that Saturday afternoon at Adelaide Oval. Enjoy. I'm Anthony. Come the pair.